Hello and welcome to the Untranslatable podcast. We are here recording episode 10, the Study Abroad Starter Pack. And I am here with my brother from another mother, my good friend Jared. What's going on, buddy?
Hello. Not much, man. Not much. Just being me. You caught me off guard, but I'm not even joking. I was so ready to come in big because I thought you were going to introduce me huge like you always do. And I was like, oh, that was normal. I don't have anything for normal.
Right? I got to keep you on your toes, Sometimes got to build you up a little bit. Sometimes, to build you up even higher, got to break you down a little bit.
I know, you threw me off the game. I like that. Keep me on my toes.
That's right.
First of all, though, please, everyone, follow us at Untranslatable1 on Twitter. Instagram is Untranslatable Podcast, and email us at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear your stories, your untranslatables.
Oh, definitely.
And we just want to know how you're doing, Just tell us you're doing okay.
Absolutely. Check in with us. We'd love to hear from you. And also,
we miss you.
We do. We really do. And we also would love to hear any of your ideas or tips on what you would need in your own study abroad starter pack. But we'll be getting to that a little bit later. First, it's been a minute since I've talked to you. I feel like what's new, man? You had piano lessons yesterday, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
How'd that go?
They were long, an hour and 50 minutes.
Wow, dude, that is long. No kidding.
Yeah, it was long. And her daughter just got married, but this was a no chit-chat. We talked, obviously, but it was about piano.
Okay.
But, this was like a all-business 1 hour and 50 minutes. It was great.
Wow, that's intense, dude.
It was kind of exhausting. It definitely was kind of exhausting by the end.
Do you usually take usually my lessons were tops like an hour, maybe an hour 30 if we really started to chit-chat.
Mine they're supposed to be an hour. She always goes longer, so it's usually like an hour 20. But an hour 50 is definitely pushing it. That's definitely a higher limit.
Right. Do you have to
usually
pay?
I probably
do you have to pay her more?
No.
Damn,
no.
dude, that's
it's
dedication.
Her. It's not. Okay. It's not. Well, it's not my choice.
Right.
She's the one keeping me.
True. Very true.
Yeah. No. I don't have to. But yeah. Sometimes I will make up an excuse or two and be like, "Ooh, I got somewhere to be at 8:30 at night on a Wednesday. Right. I got to get out of here.
Gotta go play bingo with my great aunt."
Yeah. Oh man. If it only was at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday.
Right.
I always got something going on then.
Yeah. You can always do the ooh, I'm not feeling so good. Maybe that food I ate earlier was a little funky.
I could do that, but no, it was a good one though. It was solid.
What kind of stuff are you learning about right now?
The main thing I'm focusing on is album leaf. Franz Liszt.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm also I've kind of already learned Bach's Minuet in G minor.
Okay.
Major or minor? The other one, not the. Okay. There's two of them.
Yeah, because
there's the one that everyone always plays, and then there's the other one that everyone always plays a little less.
Isn't the one that everybody always plays? Isn't that the major?
My book is right here.
Okay. Oh, nice.
I have my book.
I think it's learning major one.
I've learned major already.
Okay.
That was you can hear. This is my piano book, everyone.
Nice.
I learned major, and I'm now learning minor.
Okay.
But I've gotten it pretty much down. It's just tighten it up,
Right. That's always the tricky thing. That's always the tricky thing with. I feel like with anything you create. Whether it's music or art,
I didn't create it just for if any lawyers are listening.
That's true. You didn't create it, but you are trying to recreate it.
I am recreating it. That's true.
So yeah, what I often wonder though too is like the music we hear nowadays, especially the stuff that was written, hundreds of years ago. The way we play it and hear it now, is that how they were playing it back then? You know what I mean?
How can we know?
We never will.
What's the earliest recording we have of those?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know.
Because I want to know who's the closest person to be recorded that actually like how many steps away are you from actually knowing the person?
Right.
It's almost kind of like the Bible, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's been rewritten
and translated in different languages.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, right, and that's the other thing too with music. If you think about it, it kind of gets retranslated depending on the person who transcribes it, right?
And sometimes you might say that it's untranslatable.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I mean in the sense that sometimes I'm so proud of myself right now. Sometimes, but what I mean is that sometimes you just can't recreate what the person originally did. But but you don't have to. I don't think.
Not necessarily, but I am also quite a firm believer in you should try to do the music. You're there to serve the song. You know what I mean?
Right, it's not a remix that I'm doing.
Right, unless you yell out remix a couple bars in, and then you're good.
I did bring the air raid siren horn just in case.
Right,
just in case.
Right.
I'm gonna shock some 6-year-old grandmother, and
that's how
in the audience.
That's how you you volunteer at an old folks home, and they're playing.
I have played at retirement homes.
Oh, see, well, perfect. So you play your retirement home. And you're sitting there, and you're like, all right, I'm going to play this Bach minuet for you guys in G minor. And then you start playing it, and you're like, remix. Yes, dude, yes. That's just too funny. I drive some of my friends crazy with this thing, this little rap air horn app on my phone. I love it.
You just use it around in public?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Your friend says something cool and you just want to be like, oh yeah,
I kind of like it in that sense. If you're gonna be my hype man in the background, I like it in that sense.
That would be the coolest job in the world, to just be a professional hype man. I think it'd get tiring after a while, but
I think at some point the hype man wants to be center stage.
I mean, I feel
by my memoirs,
maybe
the hype man that never made it center stage.
right. I don't know though, man. If you think about it, the hype man, I feel like that's way less work than the actual center stage guy. And I would assume most hype men are probably homies with the main guy, and they're probably getting a decent little chunk of change just for going out there for dude, that's 2 minutes of work, tops.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, if you look at it as a business person, it's a great gig.
Oh, definitely.
No, I mean, you still get laid. Yeah, that's fine. No one pays attention. You're not the center of attention always on TMZ and what's this person doing?
You're just a part of the posse.
But I think the hype man is an artist.
Okay.
I think the hype man has. I mean, there are some hype men that are just one of my best friend from high school. It turns out that he's now a multimillionaire. But I think the true hype man out there wants to be an artist, and the true hype man is you think you can get up here and just yell what? Yeah, holla. It's you think you can do that? Here, you take the mic then. Then they do it. And they're like, oh shit.
I guess when I think of a hype man,
now my
though,
friend has a new friend.
I feel I also just think of the dudes who hype up the crowd before the concert.
Oh, so you'd be legitimately performing at that point.
I mean,
or but on a DJ situation where you sometimes
exactly, it's more like an intro. You're hyping the crowd up to get them pumped for whoever artist is coming on.
You need to dream bigger than this, Chad.
I guess so.
We are now in a business venture together, and I'm gonna really need you to dream bigger than hype man status.
I feel like you could argue I was trying to be your hype man the last couple of episodes while I've been introducing you.
That's true.
And today I didn't bring the hype.
Yeah,
I guess I gotta bring it next time.
You convinced me. You convinced me.
I'm gonna start integrating the rap air horn in there too. My man, hair.
You know what I'm gonna do? So the way my place is set up, there's a long hallway leading up to the room that I'm in. What I'm gonna do is next time, when we hit record, I'm gonna start at about 20 seconds. I'm gonna start running in, and I'm gonna almost have where you're in the basketball games where you have your arms out with the hands slapping everyone.
high-fiving all the fans.
I'm gonna do one of those, running down, and you're gonna hear me from about 50
slapping
feet
the walls
away.
or something.
Yeah.
Clap.
Yeah! Let's get ready to rumble!
Yes. Oh my
Welcome
God.
to the Untranslatable podcast, everyone.
See, dude, you need to introduce this man. That was just straight fire. That was solid.
We should just record that and I'm never gonna do that again. We'll never get that that level of commitment out of me.
You know, though, I've thought about like just having a cool pre-recorded thing. Then like we don't have to talk, but like
I like the real thing.
I do
though.
too, kind of like it's just a little different. Although it's not like I have a fancy intro.
How lazy are we? Well, I know, but I think there is something. I mean, how lazy are we that we can't even say hello and welcome to the show at the beginning? How would we start it then just go straight into it?
I guess, yeah.
And just be like, all right, Untranslatables.
Here we go. Jared, we're here for business. We're not here for pleasure.
Exactly.
No, I'm here all for the pleasure.
Anyway, on to the Untranslatables.
So you're going straight for the business. All right, I like it. All right, well, all right.
At the top of the hour, we're supposed to hit the Untranslatables.
That is true. So
our program, my producer's screaming down my neck right here.
The Trello board just going off the chain. Oh man, you're getting like a red alert on your laptop. Oh man. Anyways, right. That's we should just cue in every segment with the ham horn.
Yeah, that seems aggressive. It seems aggressive.
It does, but you know, we just gotta bring the energy. Anyways, so yes, we're here to share some untranslatable phrases, and I'm gonna start you off, Jared, with a good one in Dutch, which is hold up. I want to listen to it one more time before I say it. All right, you ready? Voorpret. It's Voorpret. And I'm pretty sure vor is just like the German vor, VOR, which means like before.
Okay. That was going to be my first question.
And pret. Sorry.
Bed? Is pret bed?
Nope. Hold up.
Work?
No, it is fun.
Okay. So So voorpret. So it essentially means like work before play. Before play.
Kind of.
Or is it like foreplay?
I think it's kind of like
those are two different
right? Words. Way different. That's also though you got to be careful with German because they have like we say pregame, right? And technically if you translate pregame into German it could be Vorspiel. However, Vorspiel also means foreplay. So the German word for pregame, if you didn't know, is Vorglühen.
Okay, I do remember that one. I did not know the German word for foreplay. That was way less useful for me while I was in Germany.
You want to hear a little funny unrelated story? Well, kind of related story. So a couple years ago when I was in Germany, I was single and ready to mingle, and I was talking to this German girl. And this was before I knew the word for the correct word for pregame. So we're like texting and stuff, and I'm like, and I said something along the lines of like, hey, do you wanna like, willst du ein bisschen vorspielen or something like that, or you know, I don't even remember what I said. But you know,
when you add ein bisschen to it, it almost makes it even like sexy,
right? But anyways, I didn't realize I said like, do you want to have like a you know, little foreplay, and we ended up having a little foreplay and then pre-gaming and going out. So it all worked out really well. But that
I feel like that level of directness is appreciated because it never happens.
That's true.
And you wouldn't even do that. You didn't even know what you were doing.
I didn't, but it worked out really well. It worked out really well. Anyway, so back to our untranslatable. So it's voorpret, and it's Dutch, and voor means before, and pret means fun.
Right. So translate that for me.
So it is basically when you are looking forward to something fun, like a special celebration or an adventurous getaway. And the feeling, so it's a feeling, the feeling of voorpret, a Dutch word that loosely translates to pre-fun, is generally used to describe that feeling you have when you're looking forward to something fun, exciting. And I thought this was a good one for our episode, for our topic today, because I definitely don't know about you, but when I was in the pre-study abroad stages, I had serious voorpret. I was looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. Time. There was almost a looking forward to it, like, I got to get out. Like, I'm done with America. Let's get at let's
Whoa
speed this
there.
up.
Whoa there. I know what you mean, though. You're right. You just want to get there. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I enjoy traveling in terms of seeing new places. I hate the actual getting there most of the time.
Yes. I almost always do. Unless I'm in the rare occasion. Now it's even rare because I mostly pay for my own shit.
Right.
The rare occasion that I'm in business class. But even then, just being at the airport, the whole process of standing in lines and waiting and sitting,
Exactly.
I hate all of that.
Oh, it's awful.
I hate
it's
it all.
awful. If I could take my pick, though, honestly, like if I'm traveling around Europe, if I got time, I'm taking a train. In my opinion, that's the most chill way to travel around by far.
And the speed trains are, I mean, they're still slower than an airplane, but they're not that slow, and they're pretty nice, like a ICE or like the TGV. Those trains are pretty legit.
Oh yeah,
All right.
They definitely get the job done.
I got some untranslatable for you. We really went off the rails there, but I like it. So I got two that I'm gonna kind of give you at once. One is Finnish and one is French. And I'll explain this in a minute. The Finnish one is Pitkin Hampain. Or Hampain? I tried to put a weird accent on it, but I feel like that was right. Pitkin Hampain.
Uh-huh.
And that translates directly to with long teeth.
Ooh, interesting.
And then the French term is, I'll explain what I'm doing in a second. The French term is avoir les dents longues, which means
no idea.
Which means to have long teeth.
Okay.
So I want you to tell me what you think those mean.
Oh man. Okay, what was the Finnish one again?
With long teeth.
Okay.
Pitkän hampain. And the French one is to have long teeth.
With long teeth and to have long teeth.
Yes.
Are they in any way related to our topic?
Not really, no.
No. Okay.
But I'll say this. They're almost the opposites. That's why it's so interesting to me.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. To have long teeth, is that like you talk a lot?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea.
So with long teeth, the Finnish one means you're unwilling to do something.
Okay.
To have long teeth is to be ambitious.
Oh, interesting.
And then
okay.
On top of that, the English phrase "long in the tooth."
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
You don't know what that means? That means to be old, like to. Well, there's another untranslatable for you.
Nice.
I even have an English untranslatable. It means to be rather old, or just to be that's getting long in the tooth.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sure if you heard it in context, you'd know what they're talking about. But
oh, definitely.
I just found it interesting that all three sayings had the same. All we're talking about long teeth, and all meant completely different things.
Yeah, that is pretty fascinating. All right, well, I got a French one for you. Let me just check one moment here, one more time. Okay, here we go. Dépaysement.
Ooh, okay.
Dépaysement.
I don't know what that is.
Well, here I have it on Google Translate, and the word it translates to, it says here, is scenery.
Okay.
But what's interesting, if you delete the little E with the accent and type it in, you actually get the word homesickness.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird. But basically,
but I think those are if the accent's different. I mean, those are those completely different words then, right?
I guess, yeah.
That's
in theory.
Yeah, that's interesting,
right? Isn't that
there's
weird?
no so it's essentially that E with a different accent is just that's like they're like, what are you talking about? Those are two different words.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know, but anyways, so this word, well, do you have any guesses? Because I know you do know a little bit of French.
Well, you said it was homesick?
Homesickness, yep. Mm-hmm.
But that's what it directly translates to?
Yeah, basically, this is like the feeling you have when you're not at home, you're in a different place, like a change of scenery, and according to Wiktionary, this can either be
they're a legitimate source,
actually a good or a bad feeling. So
okay, it's just like an anxious feeling. which could be good or bad.
I guess, yeah, or just feeling of not being at home. I don't know. It's interesting.
Oh, I
though.
see. It could be like a homesickness or like a Rumspringa situation.
Right, exactly.
Which I don't know much about Rumspringa, so all of our Amish listeners, I'm sorry. If you're on Rumspringa
I don't
and
either.
you have an iPhone or some sort of technology to listen to podcasts because you're currently on Rumspringa, I'm sorry.
Right.
You're stupid, I know. Okay, I got
You got one?
I do. And it is Afrikaans.
Oh, cool.
Which is
All right.
spoken in South Africa and Namibia, mainly. And what I like about Afrikaans, too, is it's very similar to Dutch, which means kind of similar to German.
Yep.
And so I'll give you this this Afrikaans phrase. Hoining die mond smeer. Smeer.
Something about the moon, right?
No.
Mond isn't
Not
moon?
No, it's not.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
okay.
but I feel like well, do you know what one word that if you would recognize. Wait, actually that might be I guess I don't know how to say that. That might be an umlaut. Hunning. Anyway, the word is honey, but it looks but it like looks
Oh, like Hernish.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So but obviously I wouldn't expect you to get that. Anyway, the phrase is rub honey around somebody's mouth. So I believe
Oh, it's Mund, like Mund.
but it's with an
okay.
O. But yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was trying to figure out what to say. Like I know you know it,
Okay.
but I can't explain
Right.
why you would without just telling you what it is.
Okay. That makes sense though. Mund.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to rub honey around someone's mouth. What is that? What is that?
Oh man, that's giving me some good imagery, but I I don't know. I mean, yeah, like I don't know. Is that like teasing someone?
No, but you're kind of on the right path. You're very close.
Really? Okay.
You're on the right path, but I think no, you're on the right path. I'll leave it at that. I'll give you another guess.
You're teasing. Okay.
Rub honey around somebody's mouth.
Is it to like? Is it? It's not like to butter them up, is it?
That is exactly what it is.
Really to butter them up.
It is.
Huh?
Yes.
So are you saying that our Afrikaans speakers would rather have honey around their mouths than be buttered up? I guess.
Yeah. Rub some honey around their mouth.
Interesting. Okay.
I love South Africa. It is a beautiful country. You know, the language.
I've never
Afrikaans
been.
is wonderful.
It'd be cool.
Oh, I'm just rubbing some honey around their mouth.
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. All right, I got one for you, and this is actually you might even know this one because I think some people have heard this one before, and this is I believe the language is pronounced Nguni, and it's also in well, it just says here Southern Africa, so I don't know if they mean South Africa or just that region.
Right.
But anyways, the word is Ubuntu.
I have heard that before, but I do not know what it means.
Okay. Well, any guess? I can't really give
Ubuntu.
you any tips, but
Celebration.
just based off the sound. Ooh, that's a good guess. So here it says Ubuntu is a noun, and it is the belief that we are defined by our compassion and kindness towards others.
Wow, that's a lot of
Ooh,
that's a lot to put on a word.
It is, but it's a great word.
Yes.
And I feel like when you're studying abroad, you definitely need some high levels of Ubuntu, I think.
Yes. Can you read that one more time for me?
Yeah, it's a noun, and it is the belief that we are defined by our compassion and kindness towards others.
Okay. I like that.
I think that's pretty solid,
I mean,
honestly.
I agree with it. I agree with that sentiment for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, after I found that first Afrikaans one, I kind of went on to Afrikaans roll, so I got one more.
Nice.
Afrikaans
Okay.
one.
Sweet.
Actually, do I have time to do two?
do it.
Do I have time? I have one that's not Afrikaans that I also want to do.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
But
Go for it.
do I have time to do two?
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Do 3, man. Go crazy. You do you, buddy.
Well, I only have 2 left, so.
Damn. All right, we'll do 2.
So this is an Afrikaans phrase as well, mostly speaking of South Africa and Namibia. As die Hemel val is ons allemaal doet. Now, I feel like you should know some of those words.
Himmel is heaven.
Yes, that's exactly
I'm
what I was
assuming
thinking.
I'm assuming fall is to fall.
Yes. Dude, you're
And-
you're translating Afrikaans right now. Do you recognize that?
What can I say?
And
A
it
very
was,
cultured individual, Jart.
granted, it was spoken by me, so I don't know if that makes it easier or harder. Probably easier.
Right. Probably easier, I would
Anyway.
agree. It'd be way harder if it was a native speaker going at like regular speed.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I don't know, like, what's the last word again? Or can you say the whole phrase again?
Sure. As die Himmel fall is uns allmal död.
As the sky falls, we're all dead.
Holy shit!
Yeah, did I get it? Yeah, woo!
Give me that air. Give me that horn.
Oh shit!
You earned yourself an air horn on that
one. Oh
one.
my god! Yes, I did. I didn't even have it ready.
Oh
Wait.
my god!
Woo! So as the sky falls, we all die, which basically
I know how now
means-
you're like a professional. You're like, anyway, so with that, obviously. No, tell me what it means. Keep going.
So what it means, though, basically, well, what I think it means is, basically, like, don't worry about it. Whatever happens, happens, and we're all going to die in the end, right? Or
Kind
no?
of similar.
Okay.
First of all, let me say, like, as I read what the word, like what the translation is, I'm like, yeah, I see why that is, and it all makes sense to me. But I never would have got that. That was great.
Okay.
Seeing it's seeing trouble in everything. So I think it's more like you say, like
okay.
like it's people that like to complain less. So I guess you kind of were and don't always think about the bad things in life. Because like at the if we're all dead at the end of the day anyway. But yeah, you're essentially right. Do you have any more?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Let me find them real quick here. Man, dude, I'm psyched about that one. I'm really happy.
Me
about
too.
That one.
That was great.
All right, I got one for you, and this is, I believe, Latin. So I probably won't say it right, but then again, no one knows how it sounds because it's a dead language.
That's true.
So, anyways, the word is solivagant or solivagant. SOLIVAGANT. And you want me to help you out with this one a little bit?
No, hold on. Does solely have anything to do with like singular or solo?
Yep, good.
When I hear, this is the thing. When I hear something, my first thought when I heard that word was like a vagabond or like a solo traveler.
Yeah,
or
dude.
something
No,
like
you're,
that.
Dude. You just said it.
Holy!
Let me get that ham horn ready. Woo! This is just wild,
Whoa! Let me clarify. This is not. We do not see each other's untranslatables before we record this.
That's the whole point. We don't share them.
Wow.
But, we're just getting good at this. Imagine episode 20. We're only 10 episodes in. Episode 20,
We're gonna be
dude.
fluent in like 18
I know.
different languages.
It's going to be great. All right, I got kind of a bonus. Well, it's not really an untranslatable, but it's an English word.
Okay.
And I wonder if you know this one, Jared. Since you figured out that one so easy, let me give you another one. Do you know what a polyglot is?
Someone that, poly is obviously multiple. See, I know I've heard it before, but I don't know what it is. Someone that
Multiple or many?
someone that speaks many languages, understands many languages.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, a polyglot. It literally means many tongues.
Oh, okay.
So we will be becoming polyglots, I think, by episode 20.
So
after
you
all
say
these
bilingual,
untranslatables.
but then polyglot or trilingual.
So
after
a
three?
polyglot. I think usually a polyglot, from my understanding of it, it's usually someone that speaks like more than 5 languages.
Okay.
Like it's.
Would you say
and there are some-
quadlingual? Because that sounds dumb.
I mean, in theory, you could. I mean,
I'm gonna give
could-
polyglot to anything more than try. I think once you're
Yeah,
hitting 4,
I think
I'll
that's
give you
fair.
a polyglot.
I think that's fair. You've put in the work. You earned it. Hopefully, we're not offending any like polyglots out there who speak like 20 languages.
How
and they're
dare
like,
you!
Right.
I went to school for 47 years.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway.
It would be so sweet though to be able to speak like 10 different languages. Can you even imagine?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like just go places and just like, oh, all right. Well, now I'm here. I'll just talk in this language because I'm here.
Sometimes when I'm in public around people that are speaking a language that I don't understand, I kind of want to almost give off. I don't even know how because I'm not like staring people down or anything, but I almost want to give off the impression that I know what they're talking about. And I think it's more of a defensive mechanism because I'm like, are these people talking about me? And I almost
Okay,
kind of
that's
wanted to be
fair.
like, hey, I know what you're talking about. But I don't like,
Right.
but it's all in
Right.
like your body language. Because I'm not staring these people
Oh,
down.
sure.
I'm not like, hey, whoa, you're talking about me. But I just want to be like, if they are talking about me, I want them to at least think like, hey, hold on, he might know what we're talking about.
Right. I don't know though. I actually like to do the opposite of that. I like it when people. I love being in Germany or Austria, and being around people and they have no idea I speak German.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
have I ever? I got another
I
story
like that
for
too.
you.
I like that too.
I got another story for you. I was at the bar. Oh shoot, I don't remember if this was first or second semester when I was in Vienna. It might have been second semester because most of the time when I went to the bar, you were with me for a semester. So I think it was second semester, and one of my it was because first semester we had a couple of roommates who were pretty good at German. Second semester, really, my new roommates didn't speak German very well. So we were at this bar, right? And there are these girls there, and we're at the bar, and they're behind us, and they're talking about us in German, and we're all speaking in English, right? So they just automatically assume none of us speak any German, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of like trying to eavesdrop in their conversation a little bit, and I'm listening, and I hear them arguing about like basically they were trying to like call dibs on one of my roommates, and they were like, no, I want him, like he's cute, I want to talk to him, and blah blah blah. And it got to the point where we were about to get our drinks, and I turned around at the girls, and I was just like, I think I said to the girls that were arguing, I was like, if you both played your cards right, you could both have them, or
You said
something
it in
like
German?
that. Yeah. And their jaws just dropped. They couldn't believe it. And then we all started talking. We had a good time,
Yeah.
and one of my roommates got one of the girls' numbers. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
I wonder
pretty
how
crazy
how
stuff.
the other girl felt about that later.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, you got any other? You had one more, right?
I do, and this one is Farsi.
Ooh, okay. So I won't be able to guess this one. I don't think.
Probably not. Kakbar Sar. Excuse me. Kakbar Saram. Or there's two really. I mean, but it's either Kakbar Saram or Kakbar Saret, which means. I mean, do you want to take a guess?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. Dirt on my head would be Saram, or
Okay.
dirt on your head, which is Saret. Saret.
Okay. Huh. Okay. And what does this mean? Dirt on your head.
Take a guess. We've been killing these untranslatables today. You can't just come
Right.
at me like that.
And now I'm gonna ruin
Yeah,
our
that
streak,
hat.
Jared.
Well, I mean, I didn't
gonna
expect
ruin
you
that
to. I
streak.
mean, I didn't expect you to
Dirt
know
on the head
Farsi.
is
That one's a little tough.
Is that dirt on your head? I don't know. Is that like you're gone through a hard journey or something?
No, it's way less positive than that. It literally means.
Are you dead?
Yeah. Oh, kind of.
Okay.
It literally means I should die, and it translates into a phrase.
Interesting.
And apparently, like it means like I'm very embarrassed. Excuse me. I'm drinking Sprite during our episode. Not a good
bad
idea.
I could have told you that.
It's so delicious though. I stole it from work.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So anyway, sorry, I got distracted by my burping. But be very careful when you use it because it is like very insulting. So it's either very
really?
so it's
Okay.
like very hard on yourself, or if you say it to
Okay.
someone else, it's pretty insulting.
Oh,
So,
okay.
don't
could
throw
it,
that
could
one
it
around.
be? So is it also kind of like self-deprecating or like
Right.
Like you're embarrassed,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, so if you're like I'm embarrassed, or you're probably saying like you should be embarrassed, but you should be so
Okay,
embarrassed
right.
that you go just
Just go die.
go die and stick your head into the ground. Apparently,
Okay.
essentially.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I got one last one for you, and since you killed it on the Latin one, I had a French one, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give you another Latin one. So here we go. This one is also Latin. It's a verb, and it is vagare. And just so you know, vagare, it means to roam, but it's different than just to roam. Any guesses?
I'm gonna guess that it means to like go on a journey.
Yeah, dude. I mean, go on a. It says here, go on a whimsical or a roaming journey.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking. I
Okay.
think what I was thinking was a little bit more serious or a little bit more of a thing.
Okay.
Because I was thinking,
Gotcha.
I was just trying to
Gotcha.
think of like words that I could kind of that are similar, and I was thinking like voyage, like
Right.
but I was close enough. But you gave me roaming, but I wouldn't have gotten that at all.
Right. Yeah, that one was a little tougher. Had to move up the difficulty level on you a little bit, keep
Right.
you on your toes.
Yes.
Per usual. But yeah, and one of the reasons why I picked this one is I feel like once again, when you start studying abroad, you're kind of at the beginning of this kind of whimsical and roaming journey. You don't really know where you're going to go, what you're going to do.
Yeah, a lot of times.
What you're going to experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All of that.
But that's part of the I forgot your other your previous something pret. Yeah, that's the voorpret.
Voorpret.
Exactly. Is the unknown.
It is, which brings us to our next topic, which is our study abroad starter pack. So you want to get us started here, Jared?
Yes. And I think what I would like to start with is how to choose where you're going to go. And so,
ooh, good start. Good start.
The way I chose I was going to go is that first of all, they gave you a couple options, and they say, "Oh, we have a good partnership with this place, but you could also go here, and this is also an option." And I was a German major, so obviously it was going to be somewhere where they spoke German, which limits you a little bit, unless I go to like some like village in Argentina, and,
or somewhere in the south of Chile too. I think.
Yeah, but I don't think they'd welcome me very much in those cities. I'm black, everyone, and there are Nazi villages in Argentina and South America.
Right, like that one movie with Emma Watson. Did you ever see that?
Harry Potter?
Yes, Harry Potter is actually it's actually a deep critique on Europe during World War II and the Nazi regime. Wow. Correct? There's I forget the name of the movie, but it's with Daniel Bruhl, who's a German actor, and Emma Watson, and they're in this like Nazi camp in Chile.
Is Daniel Bruhl the guy in that movie that we always watch in German classes where it's like he pretends to his mom that yes it is. I just googled it.
Yes it is. Yes,
he pretends to his mom that the wall did not fall because she was in a coma while it fell.
It's Goodbye Lenin. Yeah.
Yes.
Good movie. Great movie.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so let's continue though. So places we're just going all over.
The first place that I was told about was Heidelberg because apparently our school had a good connection with the Heidelberg program. But my German teacher, Perry Meyer, shout out big time. He's like, yeah, I mean, Heidelberg is fine. It is a quote unquote good program. But the thing about it is it's almost too good in that it's just you're going to be surrounded by Americans. And he's like, it's not even really going to feel like you're it's almost going to feel like you're in a German, you're on a field trip or something rather than.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to be surrounded by Americans and speaking English all the time. So then I heard we had a connection with Vienna. In Vienna, don't think I'd ever been to. I'd been to Austria before, but never Vienna. And I was like, I'll go there. I didn't really know much of anything about it. I knew it was obviously like a German-speaking city and that they had schnitzel. But I don't even think I fully...
They have the schnitzel.
I don't even think I fully understood... Yeah, that's true. I always assumed it was Germany's thing. But I think Austria owns the schnitzel.
Those are fighting words, my man. If you go to Austria with that, but yeah. Well, I mean, it's really funny though you mentioned that because when I went to go choose, not to be a broken record, but Jared and I were both German majors in undergrad, among other things. Because you also did Gerstacker, which is like kind of business, and finance, right?
Economics and finance.
Economics, right? And then I did music. It's completely random, out of left field. Anyways. So I needed a place, though, speaking of music, I needed a place that I could get my German credits and my music credits. And ever since I was in high school, I really wanted to spend an entire year abroad. I was supposed to go in high school, half a year in Austria. Actually, it would have been in Graz. And then I would have had an Austrian exchange student come back with me. But that year, my school switched to trimesters. And Germany and Austria are on semester systems. So that wouldn't have worked, right? So I didn't get to go in high school. So I had it in my mind when I started college that I'm going to go for a year. And so then I needed a place where I could get my music credits and my German credits. And I wanted to stay in the same place for the whole year, right?
Mm-hmm, of course.
And I was gonna go to Heidelberg.
Is that just the first one they tell everyone?
Or no, sorry, not even Heidelberg. I was going to go to Freiburg.
Oh, Freiburg was the
I was
worst.
going to go to
by the way.
Well, I love the city of Freiburg, but yeah,
There's
it
just
sounds
nothing
like
to do.
I would disagree with you. I think I would be really happy in Freiburg, but we can talk about this another time.
Why don't you go to Freiburg then and do a podcast in Freiburg?
I mean, I actually might.
Actually, that would be a good idea.
I actually might. I mean, my old roommate Thomas lives there. I dated a girl for like a year and a half that was from Freiburg.
All I remember was, granted, I've never been to Freiburg, but all I remember was our friends that
You're
did
just being
study
a hater.
abroad in Freiburg. Like, they were blown away that our subways ran later than like 11 o'clock.
Right.
They were like, "Oh wow!" It was just like,
Right.
they look like little kids from Kansas and like New York City for the first time.
Right. But yeah. So anyway, so back to choosing
That's an
choosing a
exaggeration.
program.
I don't. If they hear this, I don't want them to come back. That's an
Right.
exaggeration.
Right. Oh, big.
But it is true.
exaggeration.
But it is true.
But yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, it's just it's a whole different environment going from Freiburg to Vienna.
Oh, for sure.
But anyway, so yeah, I was gonna go to Freiburg, and they had a partnership with the music conservatory there. So I was like, sweet, that'll work great. And then I realized I was looking at the brochure from the year before, right?
Oh.
And so then I looked at the brochure for the right year, and there was no info on the conservatory.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, shit, how the hell am I supposed to get my music credits? And so I flipped to a different brochure that was IES, and then in big gold letters, Austria Vienna music program. And I was like, well, that was easy enough. And the funniest thing was we lived like right by each other as freshmen in college.
Yep.
We're in the same fraternity,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't discuss where we were studying abroad. And then we were just like, hey, I'm going to Vienna. I think you were the one that told me. I was like, are you serious, dude?
Yeah.
I'm going to Vienna too. It was
Like,
the
what?
funniest coincidence. But I do remember our advisor telling us not to room together,
Yeah.
which was really funny because he was worried we'd speak English the whole time, which, like, in my opinion, if you're going to study abroad for language purposes, you should definitely be doing everything in your own power to speak that language on a daily basis.
Right.
Because when are you going to get that opportunity again, right?
Exactly.
But the funny thing is, we spoke German together pretty much when we got there. I remember being in Maria Zell with you, drinking like beers and some Radler and stuff like that. Remember?
Yeah, of
At
course.
that little bar, and we
Yeah.
were speaking in German, and so yeah, so it just worked out really well.
I understand where he was coming from.
Oh,
But,
me too.
But I think I would have spoken more German if I lived with you, probably.
I mean, you basically practically lived with us, but I agree with you. I mean, we spoke so much German. Then when we came back, it was kind of nice because it was like our own secret language.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was
so
great. That was great. So I have a list of a girl named Lauren Salisbury.
Okay.
She wrote a list of 10 things I wish I knew before studying abroad, and I want to see if you agree with some of these things. She studied abroad in places like Australia, Spain, or whatever.
Crikey.
That doesn't matter. Oh, and New Zealand also, apparently. There's a
Good
picture
at,
of her.
mate.
She went to Victoria Uni of Wellington. That was English.
Nice.
I don't know how to do a New Zealand accent.
Oi.
Anyway. So the first thing she had on her list, she had some preamble. I skipped it. She's a great writer.
Okay.
It's great. It's beautiful.
Oh, nice. Okay.
First thing on the list is you have to actually study. You actually have to study.
Study. Come on, dude. It's a year-long vacation. No, I'm just playing. I mean, I agree with her. I think you have like this golden opportunity to really, well, let me put it this way. I think you should be studying stuff that is relevant to what you're doing there, right? Like if for me, like I got to really study a lot of cool music stuff. Like we took that music in Vienna class, and that class was amazing.
Yeah, and
the
cultural? I think I prefer
That was a great
the cultural
class.
but I think that was mainly because the teacher was way better.
Oh yeah, she was great, and we were also getting out of the classroom and walking around and
Yeah, which we did in
doing
the,
a lot
in
of
the music
hands-on
class
learning
too, though.
A little bit too. Yeah, we went on some field trips. I wish you would have been there the second semester, man, because we went to the Schubert House in, I believe, the 8th district of Vienna. And dude, ever since I lived in Vienna, I knew a couple pieces by Schubert before I went there. Afterwards, dude, I am like the world's biggest Schubert fan. Like,
Did
I love
he have
his
a
stuff.
nice house or a not nice house?
Well, so his dad was actually a school teacher.
Okay.
And back then, this was, I think late 1800s or so, if you were a teacher, the school was usually like right below where you lived. Oh. And so he actually taught with his dad, and he was like, no, Dad, F you, I'm going to be a composer, and moved out. His dad didn't want him to be a composer. His
You're
dad
not the
wanted him
boss
to
of
be a teacher.
me.
Right. So yeah, but I would agree with that. I think you should study. I think the people who study abroad, who just go to have a good time and party, I feel like it's kind of a very one-dimensional experience. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. And I think the studying, it is different too, because I definitely was not as busy. But I had some classes that were like, because I took some econ related classes, and some of those were just as time consuming as any econ class I took. And granted, they were paper based, so that is a little different. But they're just as time consuming as. But like, and so was kind of the German class too. But I think like it was also balanced out by like the cultural class, where it was time consuming, but it was enjoyable time consuming. Like you're walking around the city, you have to write a paper every once in a while and answer some questions. But it's like, I think there's just a different sense of what study is. I think there's also some of that is just taking in your environment, and not just like locking yourself in your apartment, or not just only like doing only speaking English or whatever it is.
I will say, I always feel genuinely bad for people who spend all this money to go and study abroad, and then, like you said, they just spend their time in their room. I understand like feeling lonely sometimes. I understand.
I struggle with that.
Experiencing culture shock. Feeling homesick. I get all of that, but like I just can't justify like singing in my room all day. Like I'm actually gonna try something kind of maybe a little extreme. When I get to the Czech Republic, I'm going to try to watch little to no Netflix. We'll see if I can actually do it, because I love Netflix and I watch it a lot. But like,
are you going to watch Czech TV or just get out of the house?
Yeah, I want to. Well, one, I don't know yet if my apartment or flat, as they say, I don't know if my flat
have a TV.
Exactly. So I don't even know, but I'll have internet and I'll have my laptop. So in theory, that's like prime time Netflix right there.
Right.
But we'll just have to see. But and just like I'd also like to mention exactly what you said. The whole point of studying abroad too is like taking in the culture, and like I think the concept of study needs to be a little bit more broadly defined when you study abroad.
For example, I believe it was probably the music and Wien class. We were required to go to like a certain amount of symphonies like on our own time.
That was
or
awesome.
Operas.
Yeah,
and that's something where it's like it was easy not to do that. And if you didn't do it, I don't know how badly it affected your grade, but I can't imagine you'd fail.
Right.
Maybe you would. I don't know. But like that's something where it's like, why wouldn't you do that? You're in Vienna, for example, where we were, which is like got like one of the greatest classical music and theater backgrounds and histories in the world.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, but that's studying
some of the best
too.
Concerts over there. Oh, absolutely. Not only is it studying, but it's also like living life.
Class.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Definitely
studying.
Right. Let's see what else is on this. Okay. Yeah. You run into that for sure.
A semester is usually not enough time to become fluent in a second language. We don't have to. I mean, that's obvious.
We could start our own podcast just on that topic.
I would even argue a year's not. A year you might be able to like get around and stuff, but I wouldn't say you're fluent after a year. You'd probably be able to get around and be conversational, maybe.
Well, let me say this. It obviously depends on the level of language you have. Well, that too. Yeah, motivation's a big thing, but also too like where you're at in terms of language proficiency when you get there. Right.
Are you starting from zero?
If you're starting from zero. I mean, you probably remember Michaela, right? The girl I was seeing when I was in Vienna back in the day.
Yeah.
She came with like no German, and I wouldn't say she was like advanced fluent, but she understood stuff. She could get around. I mean, she was taking.
I remember that. Yeah.
She took music in Vienna too, which was all in German, and I mean, I helped her a lot, but like I was really impressed.
But writing
actually.
papers is different than like being conversational, understanding.
Exactly.
And I think that if you, that's the thing. Are you starting from, if you want to keep it going after, that's a great way to start, is to just get thrown into it like that.
Right.
But I can't imagine most people are starting that way and with hopes to like learning it. Like, I mean, that just seems like a weird way to start learning.
Yeah, true. Anyways, what else is on this list?
American culture is everywhere. Sorry, but going overseas probably won't free you from hearing that "Just Shut Up and Dance" song that everyone that song every single minute. The fact is, American culture permeates nearly all corners of the globe, and leaving the country will not be a total escape. Not a total escape, but it's pretty easy to escape it. Like, I disagree with that kind of.
I would as well. I think it depends on.
I mean, unless you're at like a
your
club
lifestyle,
or something, I guess.
Well, but even like,
then, you're probably gonna hear more techno-y stuff.
Yeah, I said
it, garbage.
I mean, I don't know. I just think like it's if you go to places where there are a lot of Americans, I think you will run into this, right? Like I remember there was this bar in Vienna. What was it called? Travel Shack. Did you ever go there?
Sounds familiar.
The Travel Shack. It was owned by, I think, a bunch of Aussies.
Was it around the corner from 1516? In that area?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But they had a bunch of like crazy shots and stuff. Anyways,
it was like an American bar.
But a bunch of Americans would go there all the time. Yeah, and so
it sounds like a Rick's or something.
Right. But it was like the floor wasn't nearly as sticky as Rick's. But anyways, I feel like with the Travel Shack though, it's if you go to places where Americans go, you're going to, I think, see more American culture. But like my second semester in Vienna, I spent a lot more time with Thomas and tried to meet more Austrians, and I got further away from American culture, I think. And kind of like what we've talked about on other podcast episodes where like people will go abroad and then they'll fucking eat McDonald's. Like,
yeah, I think some of that stuff is fear though. Fear to kind of get out of your bubble.
Yeah.
And because I have that too, but that's why I also like that you were in Vienna too, because it made it easier. Because I was like, first of all, it's always easier when you go somewhere and you know someone already.
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah, you and I were lucky. You know, we from day one, yeah, we could hang out. But right. I feel like too, that's also can be a crutch, which isn't always a good thing.
Right.
You know,
which
what I
think
like,
was part of the good thing about also us not living together is that like it's that we also like had our own lives, and we didn't like this is too much about us. This is not about us. Why are we just reflecting about
true. Anyways, because we're talking about study abroad. That's true.
We're trying to help people for the future.
That is true.
That is serious work.
So give me the next one on the list.
People will have stereotypes about you. Yeah, that's
for sure.
And
do you remember what the director of our study abroad program said if you were black in Austria? Do you remember this?
Oh, they'll probably think you're a drug dealer. Because all the Nigerians are drug dealers.
That blew my mind though when he said that, like,
and just so blatantly.
Yeah, but like then again, like if you think about the context, you know, I feel like Germans and Austrians can be fairly blunt. I think Austrians come off a little more polite, right? Because the way they phrase things is a little nicer, I guess. I don't know, but like, yeah, when he said that, I was just like, damn. Like,
also, I'm not gonna lie. I'm speaking for myself, but I'll just speak for the other black people that are in the room. We were all like, I mean, he has a point. I get it. Right. In the sense that like that's not that much different than living in America anyway. Like I get what he's saying.
Right. Yeah, it's just kind of a bummer though.
But it was just like very bluntly put. It's like, oh,
right.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess.
did people ever like give you looks or shit when you were living in Vienna?
No, more when I lived in Germany. Okay. I got some when I lived in Germany, but I can't really think of anything when I.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was always worried about getting like typecast as like the stupid American when I would meet Austrians, and I always loved like that's why I really enjoyed meeting Austrians because I'd like speak German with them, and I could slowly see that like that stereotype they had in their head about Americans kind of slowly like fall away or break away. You know what I mean? Like I remember meeting this guy at oh crap, what was that? What was the bar we went to the first time we were there? Was that Loco or whatever? Was on that like Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the name.
Anyways, they had like super cheap cocktails, and we went there, and I had a little buzz.
I
I'm
know
not
a
even
place
gonna
you're
lie.
talking about, though.
Yeah,
I
remember it was right on the U6 where I lived.
Yeah.
I think it was Loco. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. Anyways, I was just talking to all these people, and a couple people couldn't even guess where I was from because I was speaking German with them.
Oh,
I think if I would have gone up to them trying to speak English, they would have been like, oh, great. Another annoying American tourist. Like, great.
Hey there.
Right?
All right.
Howdy.
I got another one for you.
Sure.
I'm going to skip some of them. Some of them are kind of dumb.
Okay.
There's no way to fully prepare. I'm going to mix these two together. There's no way to fully prepare and have fewer expectations. It will lead to richer experience. I think those kind of go hand in hand. And I
would say
mean,
yes and yes to both those.
I'm
I agree.
naturally not a preparer, so my personality works in that way. But I agree with that also. Don't like try to like plan out your entire. Then I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna go here.
Right.
But I hope I. And it's like you just gotta like just live, enjoy
Go
it.
with the flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then this is kind of cheesy. I'm gonna say this, but we don't need to talk about it. The best memories are unexpected. Anyway.
I mean, it's cliche, but she's right.
I mean, she's right, but it is.
I'll give it to her. She's right. I mean, some of the like even us like stumbling upon Naziel's.
Yeah,
like
that's
that schnitzel place. Like that was unexpected, but dude, we had so many memories there. I mean, I think it's true. Can I go back? I do want to say something about that last point though.
Oh, sorry about that.
About you're good about what not. You
There's
don't
no
want
way
to prepare
to
too
prepare.
much.
Having fewer expectations will lead to a richer experience.
Right. So the fewer expectation things. First of all, I feel like if you go into a study abroad, I try to go into any time I travel or live abroad because I've lived abroad now for 2 summers in Germany, 1 year in Austria, and then it'll be 10 months in the Czech Republic in less than a month. So it's coming in real hot. But anyways, right, hit the ham horn. But anyways, so what that means though is like I'm going into the Czech Republic fairly soon, and so I'm back in this mentality of I'm trying to prepare in terms of like learn the little things about the culture so I don't offend anybody and I can kind of try to fit in a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think if you go in with too many expectations, what's going to happen is you're just going to be disappointed, right?
Right.
Because go ahead.
Yeah, and you don't want to try too hard. You still want to be yourself at the end of the day.
Exactly. For sure.
But but I think you also do more sort of preparation to kind of figure out the culture than your average study abroad traveler would.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to a couple guys who were teaching in the Czech Republic this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like asking them all these questions, and they're like, "Man, nobody has come with all these things prepared. Like, you're gonna be good." And I was like, all right, well, that's like good to know. Like,
you're kind of a over preparer in general, though.
Oh, for sure, dude. Like my first week of English class a couple weeks ago, I planned I kid you not, dude, 12 activities because the class is 2 hours and 20 minutes, so it's almost 2.5 hours. So I figured 12 activities in 2.5 hours is doable, right? Dude, we got through 4. 4. But, they were still, like, speaking a lot and enjoying the activity. So I was fine with cutting them all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm definitely an over-preparer. That's why I always love to travel with you because I'm always, like, really uptight, I feel like, and you're not at all. No. And so it calms me down a little bit. Like, I get so paranoid a little bit when I travel. It's not good.
Yeah. No, I don't concern my... Yeah.
Anyways.
We're a good team.
Right. Yes, we are. Better believe it.
Subscribe and review the Untranslatable podcast. We're a great team.
Should be on a t-shirt.
And then there was another list that I found. There's just one or two more I want to bring up.
Okay.
And it was just some blog. Weekend Student Adventures. 15 essential tips for students. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
This one I found interesting. Make sure your flight home is flexible.
Okay.
I did not do that. I didn't even consider that. I don't even know how you really make it flexible.
Dude, buy that insurance, man. That's how you do it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Because that's what I had to do this time because I'll be staying. Basically, when we book the flights, it's longer than a year out.
Right.
And most airlines won't book an outgoing flight over a year in advance. So what I had to do, this kind of sucks, but what I had to do is I paid for the insurance on it, and then what happens is I have to pay a $300 change fee, and then if that flight costs more money than my other one, then I have to pay the difference.
Okay.
So
However,
300 plus whatever, but
you are flexible.
right, which is
You
really
can-
good. Mhm.
Yeah.
So I would agree with that one. I think
Okay.
yeah, you definitely do.
This will also mention buy a camera. I did the complete opposite. I had no camera my entire. I had my smartphone, which I left, which I never used because they just gave us a brick phone.
Right.
And I never took any pictures the entire time I was there.
Really?
and-
Okay.
I mean, I took some
Interesting.
pictures when we were in Marriott Cell,
Okay.
but that was more to just let my parents know I was alive. And I took pictures
right.
of my apartment when I first moved there,
Okay.
but that was just so they didn't think I lived on the streets.
Right.
Um,
Although you could have handled it on the streets, Jared.
oh, for
You'd
sure.
have been fine.
I did
You'd
live
have
on the
been
streets. I just broke into someone's apartment and took some goddamn pictures.
good.
But I understand the
Right.
camera thing, and I mean that's kind of a. I mean, you don't even have to tell people that in 2018, I guess.
Right.
But I just wanted to mention that I did not bring a camera.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually gonna buy a new smartphone because my iPhone's starting to run a little ragged, and I'm gonna get a new one with the hopes that the camera will be a little bit nicer. I can take some cool pictures on there because I don't know if you know this, Jared, but geographically speaking, the Czech Republic is just gorgeous.
Yes, I've heard.
yeah,
I've never
it's
been there, but
gorgeous.
I have heard.
Yeah. So, anyways, are there any other things you got for us?
That's all I got.
Okay.
But I think the main thing to like the main takeaway one is to be prepared beforehand because like there's kind of a lot of things going on between like visa and
definitely.
you know, making sure you have everything you need and figuring out what you need for your classes and all that stuff.
Right.
But it's weird because it is a vacation, but it also is like a vacation, like a learning experience vacation, where
Oh,
it's like
big
it's
time.
definitely way chiller than being in normal school. It's way more chill than being just like at college.
Right.
But
yeah, it's a whole different environment.
But you
Yeah.
can you could definitely fail. Like it's not like
Oh,
you can
definitely.
just fuck off. Like you could
Right.
definitely fail.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. I do want to ask you one question, Jared, before we move on to our song of the pod. What would, if you could go back in time and tell young Herr Jart some tips before you studied abroad in Austria, what advice would you give your earlier self, your younger self?
Have more faith in my German.
Okay.
I'm always I would just and I mean and that works for anyone. Just have confidence when you speak.
Mm-hmm.
I think is an important one.
Right.
What would I tell myself? I would definitely tell myself. Travel as much as you can, because I think when I was there, I'm trying to think. Let me try to think. When I was there, I only really traveled once, and it was a great trip. But I think that there is something to traveling around more. Like, for example, Bratislava was right down the street.
Right.
That's easy to get to.
Right
Or-
down the Donau. Mm-hmm.
and like, for example, in the last thing I was just reading things from it, one of them it said was be independent. Some of those trips I could have taken by myself, and I think that is something that I think is to embrace the independence. And I think that's because I'm not good at that now.
Right.
I'm still not good at
I
it.
got a question for you. Is it weird that I really enjoy traveling alone?
I think that's great.
I'm
trying to hold myself to going on a trip to Europe by myself, and I'm trying to wrap it around you being there. But
Right.
I have been trying to tell myself that it's within the next year I want to travel by myself and just experience what it's like to just be by myself outside of the country.
And
I've
I feel
never done
like
it.
when you travel, I think every time I've traveled by myself, it's a huge learning experience. I learned something like kind of new about myself. Like
you
the
have to learn everything. You don't have anyone to rely on.
Right. Right. But it's also nice too because you have the freedom to like
Do whatever you want.
if you're like, I'm just gonna chill by the river today and not do anything, you can do that. If you're like, I want to go to 5 museums today, I mean, by all means, you know what I mean? Like you can
Right.
you can do all that stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I guess the advice I would give my younger self is just be patient. I think be patient and realize that everything is going to be all right. I was so worried and uptight of like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? That it's not going to be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just because you're in a different country, it's like, still, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Right. Exactly.
This is not Taken was just a movie. You're fine.
Right. Let's hope it's just a movie. Although you never know. You never know. Anyway, so let's move on to our song of the pod. I've been on a real Seed kick lately, and for our listeners out there, the group is called Seed. It's S-E-E-E-D, 3 E's, S-3-E-D, as they say in German, S-3-E-D.
S-triple-E-D,
as
they say
cool.
in England.
Right. And I've been listening to this group since, pretty sure since high school. I got a buddy from Berlin that showed me their song Dickes B, which is a great song. But this song that we're going to be talking about is called Deine Zeit, which means what in English, Jared?
Your time.
And what? So for you, this was a pretty new song, Jared. So what are your initial impressions? Because I've been listening to this song now for quite some time.
One, something I watched the music video, and the music video was a live video.
Right.
And they recorded the So what I'm getting at is, one, I always love the video, like the visuals. They always have great visuals. Mm-hmm. Like Aufstehen, or there's that one, I don't remember the name of the song.
With CeeLo Green, that's a good one.
But there's a song that has like where they all have like monkey heads on. And there's a couple actually where they all have like monkey heads on.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just like always weird imagery.
The monkey heads are actually Peter Fox's solo work, who is their singer.
Okay, but
not Seed stuff, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this one still has weird imagery in the sense that it was filmed in a city. This live. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a live version, but I think it's like the video, mm-hmm. And it was filmed in a city called Chemnitz, Germany.
Mm-hmm. Yep, mm-hmm.
Which used to be in East Germany, and it's their stage is set up in front of a giant Karl Marx head.
Yep, Karl Marx
which
statue,
I think is a actual statue that is in Chemnitz, Germany.
It is. Yep.
And
there's also a statue of Karl Marx in Berlin too. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah,
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn communist. But I mean, it's the song's got like a reggae-ish kind of hip hoppy kind of feel to it, mm-hmm. And it's got a great like big band kind of situation, mm-hmm. reggae-ish band. So there's a lot of horns and there's your guitars and drums and whatnot, mm-hmm. And I liked it. I like the. I think a lot of his songs have mm-hmm. a couple of his songs have this sort of same theme of like, for example, a line that's repeated in the song is mm-hmm. Diese Zeit ist deine Zeit, mm-hmm. Which means
this time is your time.
Yeah, and so he has a lot of songs and I think the lyrics are great too.
Oh, the lyrics are great. I really love the hook. Yes, it is.
This song is all in German, but he, much like Waldorf and Stettler, go back to our first episode.
Throwback.
He's him and his what did I say? Did I not say that?
No, you said no. I just said throwback. You're good.
I think you said go back. Much like Waldorf and Stettler, they also, when convenient, will throw in an English word or like mix in English phrases to help with their flows and stuff, and I like that.
Oh, me too.
And it's just a great beat. It's a great song. I like it.
Oh, definitely.
You tell me about it. What do you think about it?
I mean, I love the whole vibe of the song. The hook is great
too. I found myself
for sure.
Like at one point, my hand was like it was alive, and every single white dude in that audience was doing the same hand up and down.
Oh, the
motion.
up and down, yeah. Yeah.
But I found myself sitting in my room by myself, starting to jam my hand up and down.
Nice. That's how you know it's a solid song for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the hook. Like you said, the horns in the song are really great. It's got just like the tempo of it's kind of this cool, kind of groovy, boom, I don't know. It's great. So check that out. We'll have it out on our Twitter pretty soon. Deine Zeit by Seed, the German group, and also check out one of their main singers, Peter Fox. He has a lot of really good solo work out as well.
Speaking of which, though,
Mm-hmm.
when I was putting my extensive research together for this about the song, I came across one of the singers in the group. He's the skinny dude, the skinny black dude. I'm sure if you saw him, you'd recognize him. His name is Demba Nabe.
Yeah, he's great. He's got some really good solo work too. Mm-hmm.
Well, pour some out for the homie. He died on the 31st of May, 2018.
No. Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Pour some out for the homie for sure, man. That's a bummer. Well, on that, yeah, go ahead.
No, we don't have to leave it at because there is one thing I want to say about Seed.
Okay.
We could easily do a whole episode on them.
Oh, for sure.
I think there's so much to talk about that we could talk about with them. We could easily do a whole episode about them. I think that they're like, especially with the music videos, I think they're super interesting, and I like their stuff.
And they have some songs too that are like 80-90% in English too.
Yeah, they do,
which is nice for some of our monolingual listeners out there. But anyways, it is now that wonderful time, Jared. It is that time to bring some corniness and some cheesiness into the pod. And I want to give you a joke. And I only have one today. Okay. I got to actually credit Reddit jokes for this one. I did not write this one, but it's kind of a funny one. So here we go. You ready?
Reddit jokes. Go ahead.
Why is it so hard to fail a class while studying abroad?
See, I know the answer is based off the fact that abroad is talking about a woman, right?
Nope.
Oh.
That would be a good one. Oh, damn, dude. That would have been a better joke. That would have been a better joke, but no.
Because I was going to say something about how you're so attracted to the broad or something. I don't know.
Dude, so many people told me when I was like, yeah, I studied abroad. They'd be like, oh, which broad? And I'm just like, screw you.
That joke gets told pretty quick.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Anyway, so this joke, which is much better. Why is it so hard to fail a class while studying abroad?
Why is that?
Because all the grades are overseas.
Okay. I like it.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Thought that was kind of clever, overseas. Like,
I like a nice play on words.
Right? Oh, yeah. Puns are great. I was actually I went to a soccer game with my nephews the other day, who are 8 and 10, and they're both really smart little guys. And they were like, give us riddles. So I was giving them all these riddles. And let me give you one. See if you can get this one.
Oh God, we're gonna find out that 8 and 10-year-olds are smarter than me.
Right. But we were also talking about puns. I was trying to explain to them some puns, and this is the pun I told them. I guess I got two for you. So the pun I told them was, why can't a bicycle stand up?
Because it doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Ooh, not bad. A bicycle can't stand up because it's too tired.
Okay, that's good.
Isn't that good?
That's good.
Too tired, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other pun I want to give you is, or not pun, sorry, it's a riddle. What has a neck but no head?
A neck but no head. I don't know. Give it to me.
A bottle.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
That is true.
A bottle. Yeah. So.
See, I always know the super generic ones.
Like what?
What gets wetter as it dries?
A towel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or there's one about rivers.
All right, I got one for you, Jared. What is black, white, and red all over?
Muddy.
Ooh, I'm not going to ask why. No, it is the newspaper.
Black, white, and red all over.
Yeah. See,
okay.
Play on words. Speaking of words, since this is the Untranslatable podcast,
yes, it is.
Let's move on to our last segment of our podcast, which is our weird English word of the pod. Really, I guess weird doesn't even always cut it. But anyways,
no, selling it short.
Right, it is. But basically, I'm trying to stump Jared with some English words, and a lot of these are new words that I'm learning as well. So I feel like by the time we really, throw down a lot more episodes, you and I are going to have quite the vocabulary, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you this.
My good
I don't
sir.
care if I get this word right or not because I got some Latin right earlier.
You
so
did. You
I'm
killed
gonna
it.
Write off of that
we
for the
both
next
we
month or
both
so.
killed it. I really like that
That's
Afrikaans
true. You got
phrase.
an Afrikaans phrase,
Right. That might have to be our clip of the pod. We'll have to see. We'll talk about it later. But anyways, so my English word for Jared tonight is I'm really curious to see what you think this is. This is an adjective, so I'll help you out a little bit. It's an adjective, and the word is ineffable. INEFFABLE. And no, it's not a slang word used by millennials. Although it could be.
That parents watch out for that one. Ineffable. Does it mean like unwavering, unmovable, like you can't be convinced?
That's a really good guess. But no, sadly it is not. Ineffable, which is an adjective, it means too great to be expressed in words.
Oh, okay.
Which I think really ties together and brings us full circle here with our episode and our topic tonight. Study abroad, no matter what you do to get started, prepare yourself, everything like that, you are going to have an experience that is a lot of times too great to be expressed in words. You could talk for hours upon hours about our experiences, and still we can't always put it into words,
Yeah. I think that's what makes it the best. Like, we'll talk about this later, but I like when you come back, it's almost tough and almost sometimes seems pointless to try to explain it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. Because people's attention spans just aren't long enough, right? What they want to hear is it was good, I had fun, and maybe one interesting fact, if that, maybe, and that's it.
Some story or something,
right?
Yeah, it's like,
right, and
yeah,
that's it.
And so it almost feels like pointless, even, yeah. And so it is ineffable. You just you can't even really talk about it. It's like, well, how am I supposed to explain the last 4 months to a year of my life and just sum it up like that?
Exactly. But we do our best to try here on the Untranslatable podcast.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
That's right.
Hey, you leave that to us.
That is right. So we're hoping to bring you some more ineffable content with our next episode. We will be dropping it on, what's today, Thursday? So on Monday. So check that out. Please follow us on Twitter. What's our Twitter handle, Jared?
Untranslatable 1, the number 1. And our Instagram is Untranslatable Podcast. And obviously, email us at the untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. Let us know what you needed to get started with your study abroad experience. Thank you all for listening. Please subscribe and follow us on our various social media accounts, and we will talk to you soon.